But that started over the summer.
I got you.
So
I just want to give council the update because we're like, oh
Yeah.
yay, now we get graduation. I was like, whoa.
Not
We gotta make sure.
necessarily,
We gotta
yeah.
make sure.
we could say it.
It's at 9 a.m.
I think these are the only
Oh, we live streaming this?
Yes.
Oh,
Is
that's
it?
scary.
YouTube.
We live stream them now.
YouTube.com.
To YouTube, yes.
Yes.
Gosh.
Okay, let me think. Something happened.
The moment
I mean,
something
the quality
happens.
looks good.
Oh, and you're.
Well, from that angle, it was good.
Oh my god, so I
I
gotta,
think
I
it's so
can't even
funny
like say
that-
something under my breath.
I registered for
right
for
I have to control
Huh?
facial expressions and my mouth. Oh my god, you guys are asking a lot.
They rarely see it.
funny.
They just rarely see it.
Yeah, like,
Look,
guys, we're live right now. You should watch it.
I haven't seen your county.
And they just see this.
Who's this guy right here?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's what cracks my mind when I see that on there.
Oh, wait, we gotta close the lead.
Oh, yeah.
So in this.
Oh,
Won't it?
last meeting, it was really on the show.
And she just like called me so nasty. It's like cried.
That's a nice close of you.
Is it
Probably
like,
my hair.
we have one person with you?
Everything goes low down.
I'm like, okay.
I've seen a close of
She
you.
read that.
Fucking Preston. I'm like, he's like, oh my gosh, close up, they really, they get eliminated. Oh
And then there's that.
Looks like this
That was so
a lot
funny.
of students. Strongly worded.
Paul?
I'm gonna restrict my hair.
Today is actually my favorite holiday. Election day.
It's not a holiday.
It's to me, it's a holiday.
It's not a holiday.
It's a holiday.
Patrick, it's a major holiday.
It's the most wonderful
Not a
time of
holiday.
the
It's
year.
not a holiday.
Yeah, I saw your story and I responded to that
Otherwise, we'd have
story.
it off.
Caitlin, your name tag's upside down.
Appreciate it,
You're
buddy.
welcome.
You'll get it done.
Wait, is
I'll
the
get it
right
done.
name tag? Yes.
Huh?
Is the right name tag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Sometimes you have two for one.
I know I have more than one.
City politics.
They're all.
I also
li-
have that issue.
They're all lined up on my
Like,
phone.
Yep.
less stressful conversation.
And I'm getting another one for work.
Nothing to
As bad as it is. It's like,
You guys- What's your? Don't you have something going on next week? Your class? I swear I saw something.
We have
A lot of
a,
I
times
saw
it's-
something
drive.
like 2026 too.
Yeah.
26, that's not
We have
much.
first class meeting.
Oh, you talking about
No, but like
the
you
food
guys
drive?
had similar stuff.
We have like a drive kind of.
I saw the food drive.
Yeah.
I don't know what date, but I
The
reposted
14th
it.
to the 16th. Cool. I'll just screenshot that, keep it up here.
There you go. You have something to report.
And then we have our
Absolutely.
golden hours in like 2 weeks. That's not fully planned because we can't.
the dogs
The dog hour.
Did you post that? I did. I only got to part one.
Well, the grilled cheese didn't respond to us.
They
So
have
we
like a
tried to
bunch
go
of
to
little
theirs. Theirs is too expensive. So I think they're trying to like,
Can we keep like?
okay. Just, I'm go right back.
That's what I said. I was like, we'll take her.
We'll get you in the Senate.
Yeah.
Guys, it's a new senator. Yeah, Representative Sarah.
Yeah. That was really cute. They're looking for that. Oh my God. Everybody very I have one over there that was just like him. It's like a little baby. Oh, that just like a slice to hole in me. Are you going to the I can't because I have class from 3:30 to 5. So I did email her. I was like, I'm so sorry.
Meeting to order, move to roll call.
Senator Aponte,
Here.
Senator Amaya,
Here.
Senator Arias,
Yeah.
Senator Boateng,
Yeah.
Senator Bundy,
Here.
Senator Burns.
Here.
Senator Whittier,
Here.
Senator Cody,
Here.
Senator De Jesus. Senator DeJocato,
Here.
Senator Goyette.
Here.
Senator Hunt. Senator Hunt,
Present.
Senator Cowley.
Excuse.
Yes. Senator May.
Here.
Senator Powers.
Here.
Senator Sire.
Here.
Senator Walker.
Here.
Senator Van Zandt.
Here.
Chairperson Brett Miller. Chairperson Kaufman. Present. Chairperson Marceau.
Here.
Chairperson Perot. Present. Chairperson Stichter. Secretary Heaney. And President Elwood.
Present. Who's that? Oh, that's
De Jesus.
Okay. All right, hello everyone. Happy Election Day. As I said in the group today, I encourage you all to go home and participate in your municipal elections if you are able. It is very important to vote in municipal elections. Just want to encourage you all of that. I apologize for some of the name tag mix-up. I realize I need 3 new name tags. So who I have? So Emmy, you need 1. I got to correct Manuel's, and then who else I'm missing? Oh, then Senator. Okay. Perfect. I will get those created for next week. All right, starting with acceptance of the minutes. Motion to accept the minutes from the 10/31/2023 meeting.
Second.
Are there any additions, deletions, or revisions? All right, hearing none, we'll move into a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? Motion passes. Minutes accepted. All right, starting off with award, starting with this month's Club of the Month, and I will hand it over to Chairperson Marcel for this.
Yes, so this club had quite a few votes among the Senate for Club of the Month. Many of their things that students want to recognize them for was their increase in members, their increase in events on campus, as well as even being featured in the Big East Parade. So I'm very happy to announce that SAE Baja will be Student Senate's Club of the Month.
Please come forward for a picture in the front of the room. Mind the way.
Thank you.
All right, I will open the floor if anyone has anything to say about Baja. I have something I want to say. So again, congratulations for this. I think you are well deserving of this. And I really want to congratulate you all for the hard work you put into this organization. The passion that we see, you know, to advocate for, you know, to increase membership and some of the stuff you do really is commendable. And again, like Chairperson Marceau brought up about being at the Big E and all this stuff external to the university. Really congratulations for all the hard work. All right, thank you. Moving on, we will go to Staff Member of the Month for October.
Yes, so this staff member, this is the first time we are doing this for this administration. We believe it's important to recognize our staff and faculty members as well, since we do work with them a lot and they work with us back. So this staff member has, they really started meeting with Senate a lot last year. They've been awesome at helping us bring our ideas to life and having them integrated on this campus. They truly care about students here, and I believe it shows, and everyone can agree on that. So I'm very happy to announce that David Rosinski is our
Could give me a heads up.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Thank you very much. It means a lot. It really does. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll open the floor if anyone has anything to say about David Rosinski. Yes, go to resident and then section.
Coming from like the resident side, you've been doing amazing, especially with the changing out the filters. I see all the filters on my floor when I see them. You guys are doing a great job about that. And one more thing is, since I've been a part of the committee for campus relations, you guys have been doing amazing. You guys have been coming to every meeting and helping us like create ideas together to where it makes the school a better place.
Thank you so much.
Secretary Baxter.
Yeah, you've been super responsive to everything that you want to do. It's so great to have a staff member who's like actually excited about initiatives we're doing on campus. So thank you so much for all your work.
Thank you. Thank you.
The one thing I want to add in, I really thank you for all the work with our special projects. None of it would be possible without the work from him and his team in facilities. Because again, we'll do the research, the budget, but then a lot of the, the work when we're not here, the heavy lifting over the summer is done by Dave Brzezinski. So I thank you immensely for that. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much.
All right, last award for this month that we're doing today, Senator of the Month. I'll pass it to Vice President Larry.
Right. So this Senator of the Month was just recently elected to Student Senate this term and has really hit the ground running. They have represented their constituency well and have collaborated even with executive board members to establish traditions that will help bring light to the issues related to their constituency. And I'm very happy to announce that the October 2023 Senator of the Month is Senator Amaya.
Again, I will open the floor if anyone has anything nice to say about Senator Amaya. Yes.
Senator Amaya has been working phenomenally with the commuter students and making sure that their voices are heard through Senate, and even took on the commuter council, like the town hall, like immediately jumping in after elections and did great.
Thank you. Sorry. Chairperson, sorry.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of that, after I went down with my concussion, you definitely picked up the slack with all of my ideas and just picking up where I left off and then executed them way better than I even expected. So thank you for doing that.
Anything else? Something that I want to add. Again, for a new senator, you really have gone above and beyond. I was really impressed with your work in the commuter town hall. I'm speaking with some of the commuters who went. I thought that was tremendously beneficial. So you're very deserving of this. Congratulations. All right, we have a couple other awards for this month that we will do next week. Just people who couldn't be here. So and then the first, since this is the first November meeting, we do them for October. So the first meeting of the next month is when we do the awards of the month prior. So. We'll do more to come. All right, moving to new and existing business, starting with Construction Management Association of America.
All right, so at this time, I move to recognize the CMAA as an official club here at Western New England and also accept their new constitution.
Second.
All right, we're moving to a 5-minute discussion on this topic.
Yeah, so I've been working with Eric. Oh, you are here. Okay. Eric and multiple members of the Z board for getting this organization started up here on campus. They've been very responsive in terms of getting their constitution done and making sure that they have all the paperwork filled out. But in terms of what the club actually offers, I'll hand the floor over to you.
Hi, everybody. I hope you're having an awesome day. My son's sunny out. So last semester, we started doing some events, some programs. We had a building informational and modeling competition. So multiple groups were formed. They worked together to design a building that's of their choice. We would like to do that again, hopefully next semester, and give prizes for the winner. We had different students in the construction management and civil degree vote on which team they thought would be best. And then last week or 2 weeks ago, we had another event. It was a night of networking. We teamed up with ASCE. We invited multiple alumni and other people who work in the construction management and civil industry to come. They came and presented to us, and we had a time to talk one-on-one, where we also had a dinner. There we had to have students pay for their own dinner, so hopefully we could allocate some money towards them not having to pay for their dinner. That's something that Dr. Shin would want us to do again. Also, a couple weeks ago, we had a clinic. One of our own e-board members gave a clinic on an estimating software that he used at his internship. Here we had food for students so they could come and have Dunkin' Donuts. We would like to do this again as well, maybe have Domino's, something else. So we would allocate some money towards that. We've discussed going on a job site tour to an actual construction site. I've got some connections so I can talk with people that I intern with to hopefully do that. So we could allocate some money towards transportation. And then we've also talked about tie-dyeing some of our shirts that we already have. They're already white, so we already have a bunch of them. So we could do that as another event. So those are just some ideas that we can allocate some money towards and some programs that we're looking to do.
All right, thank you. The floor is open for any questions or comments. All right, with the discussion expiring, we'll move to a roll call vote.
Senator Aponte,
Yes.
Senator Amaya,
Yes.
Senator Arias,
Yes.
Senator Boateng,
Yes.
Senator Bundy,
Yes.
Senator Burns,
Yes.
Senator Cloutier,
Yes.
Senator Cody,
Yes.
Senator De Jesus,
Yes.
Senator De Jocato,
Yes.
Senator Goyette,
Yes.
Senator Hunt,
Yes.
Senator Kelly, Senator Menk,
Yes.
Senator Powers,
Yes.
Senator Sayre,
Yes.
Senator Walker,
Yes.
Senator Van Zandt,
Yes.
Chairperson Kaufman,
Yes.
Chairperson Marcel,
Yes.
Vice President Arias, yes, President Alvord,
Yes.
21-0-0.
With 21 yes votes, 0 no votes, and 0 abstentions, motion passes. All right, the second part of that, we'll move to the budget activation.
Yes, at this time, I make the recommendation that the Construction Management Association of America be activated with a starting allocation of $250.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All right, we'll move into a 2-minute discussion on this topic. Are there any questions or comments about the budget activation? All right, hearing none, we will move into a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? Motion passes. All right, congratulations to the Construction Management Association of America, our newest W&E organization. All right, we're going to move into club volleyball additional allocation, but I do not see a representative present. Oh, you are here? Sorry. Perfect, thank you for coming in, my apologies. So moving into club volleyball additional allocation.
At this time, I make the recommendation that club volleyball receive an additional allocation of $5,436.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we'll move into a 5-minute discussion on this topic. I'll pass it over to Chairperson.
So just to talk a little bit about what this request was, I posted this in Kodiak this past Friday for everyone to take a look at. The difference between their requested amount of $7,929 and mine is they were looking to purchase new poles and nets. And the rep that I spoke with during the hearing said that Ben Current and athletics would be able to pay for this. And then if not, they would come back to Senate. So my recommendation is just their amount less that. And main reasons for needing an additional allocation include that their women's team membership has increased significantly over the past couple weeks. And obviously they need separate tournament from their men's team, which is what they got their initial activation for. They're also looking to purchase uniforms that will stay with the club for years to come, as well as including the $3,000 coach stipend as outlined in our club sports policy, as well as some more game balls because they've been relying on our varsity volleyball team equipment. And I think it would be kind of nice if they had their own equipment and didn't have to rely on our varsity teams. And the finance committee was also happy to see that they've raised or will be raising an additional $2,000 in revenue. They've actually been asked to host tournaments here this year, which is very exciting. And they've also collected another $320 in dues. And just something to note is that this comes from the money that Student Senate set aside last year for the club sport pool. So this doesn't come from like our normal operating budget. So yeah, with all of that said, the finance committee was in pretty unanimous agreement over this.
Thank you. Could you repeat the recommendation and the amount they requested if it differs?
Yes, they requested $7,929, and my recommendation is $5,436.
Perfect, thank you. The floor is open to questions or comments if there are any. Final call, questions or comments? All right, we will move into a roll call vote.
Senator Conti,
Yes.
Senator Amaya,
Yes.
Senator Arias,
Yes.
Senator Boateng,
Yes.
Senator Bundy,
Yes.
Senator Burns,
Yes.
Senator Cloutier,
Yes.
Senator Cody,
Yes.
Senator De Jesus,
Yes.
Senator DeJocato,
Yes.
Senator Goyette,
Yes.
Senator Hunt,
Yes.
Senator Mank,
Yes.
Senator Powers,
Yes.
Senator Sayre,
Yes.
Senator Walker,
Yes.
Senator Van Zandt,
Yes.
Chairperson Kaufman. Yes. Chairperson Marcel.
Yes.
If you rather yes, President Alvord.
Yes.
21-0-0.
With 21 yes votes, 0 no votes, and 0 abstentions, motion passes. All right, next we're going to move into a discussion about the club creation approval process. And I'm going to allocate 10 minutes to this discussion. So for the club creation approval process, a couple years ago, Faculty Senate was the organization who initially approved whether a club could exist or not, and then it would come to us. They had, I believe it was called the Student Activities Committee, which was a subcommittee of Faculty Senate. And so clubs would go there, kind of pitch what their organization was, and they would give approval. If they did, it would come to us. Since then, that is no longer the process. We have pretty much primary say in this process. And so I was thinking that we need to define what that process is and have a more formalized, say, vote or approval process whether a club can establish itself. So typically our first vote that we'll do is what we saw today, where we're pretty much just approving their constitution. And then after that, we do a budget activation. And I think prior to that, there should be some other vote, whether it be a subcommittee of campus relations that's similar to a student activities committee, or whether it's a Senate-wide vote. But I want to hear your all's opinions on this matter, or what you think this process should look like. And I'll open the floor to any questions or comments. Yeah, Senator Hunt.
So I'm just trying to get like this right. So we originally had a committee just so they take a look at the club and they approve like you can be a club, and then they have to get their constitution.
Yes. Yep. And Faculty Senate would do that.
Faculty
I mean, that was just whether they could be a club or not. And then they would do the logistics here.
Okay, because like what I'm kind of seeing, like with the system that we do now, like they get their constitution approval first, because in the constitution they do have to say like what, like why do they want to become a club, rather than would be a much easier process because they have the process of getting the constitution approved, and then they have to get their budget allocated for that just for that starting year. So I kind of like this system a little better.
So we could even like condense it into just like one thing where it also comes with the activation, but because correct me if I'm wrong, when we are voting on the Constitution, it's we're focusing on the Constitution itself, whether it meets our criteria. Or can you explain the significance of that?
So we're voting on the activation of a club constitution, which in theory activates the club. Once the constitution is accepted, the club is created. But what you're proposing is we approve the club idea first, then they go into committee with us, and then we make the constitution with them. And then after that, we approve the constitution, and then they get the budget allocated. So instead of the two-step, like kind of symbolic process that we have now, it's a three-step, more formalized process of like Senate approves the club idea, they make a constitution, they're official, they get their budget.
Thank you for clarifying. So we'll do Secretary and then Senate.
Maybe in the interest of, I know that in the past you've spoken about the amount of time that it takes to go through all the smaller approvals of budget and then constitution. If we were able to approve just the idea of the club, if they come with that initial clause of their constitution already written out and that's their idea, then we just defer back to trusting our committees, the legislative and the financial, to do all those little issues. And if there's something out of the ordinary, then the general body votes on that.
Perfect. Senator.
I was gonna say almost the same exact thing. Like, I know I'd like to hear a little about like what the club is and what they do, but like maybe that could be the initial process. It's just them saying like this is our like mission statement or whatever, and then the legislative and financial committees kind of deal with the whole budget and constitution part of it.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Because one thing I want to be cognizant of is I don't want to make the process so complicated that it's it's difficult for students and deters them from creating a club. But I do think that there needs to be more emphasis on like the researching of what like you said, like what that club is going to be, and because I don't know what the faculty senate student activities committee looked for, but I think there should be more of a vote on whether again, like that club can establish. And again, that could be combined with the constitution vote. Just now we'd be more cognizant that we're not just approving the constitution, we're also, whether this club should, exist or not. And I'll get to your question in a second. Because we also have to think of, say down the line, say like a club were to come up that, was harmful to the community or something. It's just like those random hypotheticals on that kind of protection or something like that. But having that, I saw your hand, Senator Burns, and then we'll go to chairperson.
I feel like maybe for the initial idea vote, though, it might be kind of tough having it just limited to just Senate, because I feel like if our opinions were the main opinions on like if it can actually be established, I see that being a little bit unfair for like the whole idea of the club, because maybe like some of us don't agree with it, but maybe the majority of the student body agree with it. So I feel like that could be a little bit tough, like just to keep in mind.
That's a
I
very
don't know
good
if
point.
that makes sense.
I think also like having this is a good idea because say down the line we grow significantly, having this process in place makes sure like there's no two clubs that like significantly overlap in what they're doing and they're competing with each other. The clubs should have their own individuality and they should all be unique in their own sense in some way, shape, or form. And to have clubs competing in that sort of way might not be healthy.
Thank you. Other questions or comments about this? We can even take time to think about it for next week. But I ideally would like to have something like written down, just again so clubs can refer to like what this process is, because we have a couple of pre-written policies or whatnot, just so again clubs can know. Another question that I would propose to you is, so if we were to have again some kind of really early on approval process on whether this club, can go ahead and do the activation process, stuff like that. Do you think that should be a Senate-wide vote, or should that be, like a subcommittee or something like that? Again, because if we wanted them to have like a hearing in front of somebody, them going in front of, say, an entity and explaining what the club is, why they want to, establish themselves. What are your thoughts? Do you think that should be a committee, or should that be Senate-wide as a whole during one of these meetings? I'll ask you that question. If anybody has any answers, the floor is open. Yes, Senator.
Because there's like such a wide variety of clubs within because the school has a lot of different colleges, it is nice to see, because people like on that certain committee might all come from a certain area of Senate, and we are representing all the grades, like athletes, residents, commuters, and there might be like a business club, but if everyone in that committee, none of them's really, there's no representatives from like the College of Business, they might not completely understand the vision. It might be nice to have, because we're a pretty good representation of the school classes in
Very good
school.
point. That's true. The good thing about all the different representation is that hopefully you're getting, the voice from every constituency. Yes.
Yeah, I'd also agree, and I think it would be a good thing to like say that the entirety of Student Senate backs the idea of a club. Like we give our official like stamp of approval for them to start the process of creation, and like we like give them some sort of recognition before their actual like recognition as a club.
Perfect. Right. And one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this up here, instead of just giving this to, like, say, legislative committee to create a policy, is I do want to get all of your opinions on this, because this is I think such an important process and what it should be for approval. And I think we do need some kind of, again, just process just for we're going through. And I wouldn't intend this to be something to like make it again more difficult for clubs, but just like a formalized saying that like, this is a kind of approved organization or whatnot. Are there any final questions or comments about this? If not, then I'll have something drafted put before you, and then we'll discuss it when there's a bit more of a concrete procedure or whatnot, and then we can kind of debate it there. But any final questions or comments about this? All right, thank you. All right, moving on to campus center discussion. And I'm going to allocate, I'll do 5 minutes, this one, be more condensed. So, unfortunately, Vice President Goodman is not here today, but she was telling myself and some of the other e-board members that they are planning on doing some work to this building in the near future. And she was talking to us about esports and stuff like the commuter lounge. And what I want to kind of, ask you all is, if any work is done in this building, if there's anything we would want to say is prioritized, so we would tell, the people working on this project or administrators saying, we want you to focus on this or build more, space for this. And one that comes to mind is the commuter lounge, because I've heard a lot of concerns about the commuter lounge and stuff like that. And another point to this is the game room. I guess more of a short-term solution is, do we want to, suggest something different for the game room? Because I think what did they say that we pay for the rental stuff in there, isn't it? It's like $5,000 a semester for the stuff in the game room, and that's the pinball machines and stuff like that. And so if we wanted to do some kind of special project, again, like put TVs, the Wii or something in there. So I guess my question, I'll give the floor to you all, is do you have any priorities for this building? I see hands, so I'll just give it to you. So we'll start with Senator Hunt, and then we'll go down this row.
I think the main line is actually the main priority is some of the clubs of both locations, because I know what's happening with Rivers, and I know that project's not going to happen for like a month, but we have a lot of clubs in there that are in there and that are going to be moved. So I think that's the big priority, is where are we putting those clubs that are in there right now. I think the main ones are Bold Media, Improv, and Stageless. Those are like the main ones, but I've seen other clubs also in there that actually have meetings in there, but now like they have to move it somewhere else. And also coming from this situation too is that Warp is also trying to get an office too, but we're trying to get into Rivers, but we can't. So we're trying to fight so we can get an office. So
do we know if that's like, if they are going ahead with the Rivers?
They're not confirmed on that. No.
Christine said during people.
We're talking about engineering, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not.
Because I know in the last open house, I think anyone who was there, didn't they announce it at open house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're talking about it from what I heard from the dean, but they haven't said anything like confirmed about it yet.
Okay, so we'll look into getting clarification on that. But I see your hand up, but I have someone preceding you, so we'll go Senator Aponte and then down the line.
So my main concern was Rivers and just backing off of that with all the other like clubs and institutions that are in there as well, like Golden Voices, a lot of the art clubs that are in there. Personally, I feel for the, clubs of the arts on this campus. I feel like they don't get as much love and attention as they deserve. Not only that, but I don't know if any of you are aware, but there is a Muslim student prayer space in Rivers. And that is an absolute necessity. I feel like if we are no longer going to have access to Rivers, the main priority should be giving them the space that they need somewhere on this campus that's very easily accessible to them.
Senator Van Zandt, I saw your hand.
Yeah, I was just kind of like building off what they said. Kind of like a question. Are they like rebuilding the area or are they adding stuff in?
What are you talking about?
Like
Campus
for
Center Rivers?
the campus center.
I don't know. All I know is that I think work is being done. I don't know how big that, or I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
I know they're taking stuff out of the kitchens area. I don't know if they're putting things in. I imagine it must be pretty extensive because they're putting in esports or whatnot. So I don't know. And this is a very early conversation to have, so that like if we have demand, we can kind of like put them in.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go to Senator Powers and then Chairperson.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good point to think about because it all like connects. Because if we're trying to add stuff into the campus center, but that's going to be taking away from like the offices and classrooms that we have in the campus center, which and now if we are losing a lot of space in Rivers, those clubs are also looking for that space. So as cool as like Wii's are and stuff, we're probably gonna try to make sure, in my opinion, that they have their prayer spaces and all these clubs have a space to go before we get more like maybe fun second thought activities added in there if there's no extra space.
So 2 things about the campus center. First, I don't think we're using the space efficiently. There are too many rooms in the campus center that are used as storage rooms that are way too big to be used as storage rooms. And I think they could be way more effectively used, especially for clubs and other organizations on campus. Second, I think other colleges and universities, especially around the area that are similar size to us, have esports labs where they just have a ton of gaming computers in a lab room somewhere. And I think in terms of like the game room, I mean, we could put it there or somewhere else, but it's definitely something that we need to look into investing either on student senate or the university side. And then on top of that, the current game room, the amount we pay is kind of ridiculous. We could just buy the games, like buy some of those games from Best Buy and just leave them there, not have to pay again. Like that's ridiculous, the amount that we pay. So we should look into changing that.
Thank you. All right, so we're going Senator Hunt, Senator Mank, and then Senator Cloutier, and then Senator Amaya.
All right, so yeah, following back up to esports, there is a Discord server for that. Has not been active since like forever. Yeah, so like, yeah, I understand like the lab and all that, but how are we like, the esport has not really said anything about rarely anything. Like the only thing I think that was active was just me advertising saying like, hey, there's a tournament happening. But other than that, it hasn't been really active. Second off, with the lounge idea, I think it would be cool having the game room as the lounge because what I'm kind of thinking is we could definitely put some TVs in there and possibly like getting like some Switches or some Nintendo Switch games where we can actually make like multiplayer games. So like Mario Kart, Smash Bros. There's a whole variety of multiplayer games to where we can do it and we don't have to pay a lot of money to where we have to rent like pinball machines or the Fast and Furious game.
Motion to add 5 more minutes to this discussion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? Motion passes. 5 more minutes added. Are we finished, Senator Hunt?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll move to Senator Mank.
So I know as far as Rivers, they haven't confirmed anything yet because they have to figure out where everything in there's going first. But they did announce at the open house that like something will be happening. Like next year, that space will not be used for what it's being used for right now. In terms like over the summer, they'll be basically clearing it out, from my understanding. So they haven't confirmed, like he said, but something will be happening.
Thank you for clarifying that. Senator Cloutier.
What I was gonna say is I think Hunt mentioned that like the stageless players use that space. Don't they kind of need a stage? So I'm thinking like where are they gonna go if they don't have that space? I don't know. That's just something I was thinking. I'm not sure.
Wait, don't they use the Wood Auditorium?
Primarily? Yes. But then if like with Wood, there needs because it's the engineering building, there's a lot of like things we have to make sure that we do properly in order to make sure that things are fine. It's also hard using it because we will book it for rehearsals. A lot of athletic teams will come saying that they have a meeting in there. So a lot of times there's a lot of overlap and just it's also just not a proper performing space in terms of stageless and for music. And the music room in Rivers is already used by all 3 music groups. We don't even have a projector in there. I have a personal projector that I use that I bring in and the clubs can use. I spoke with media services about having one installed and they followed up saying that they wouldn't want to install it because the space would be renovated and they don't know where these groups are going. The stageless classroom is mainly where they keep all of their supplies, or when shows are happening, all the flats for the walls get moved into there. So if stageless actually does have any type of meeting, it's either in Wood or because the e-boards overlap, they use the improv room. So a lot of clubs depend on each other to actually have space, or they have to depend on colleges to allow us to use their space.
Thank you. Senator Cloutier.
Already was.
It was me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Senator Amaya.
So I agree with the club space, but I'd like to bring it to the commuter lounge. The commuter lounge is not only for commuters. Residents have gone in there, used the space, the microwave, fridge, the bathroom area.
One thing I'd like to bring up, definitely that bathroom space should be renovated. I spoke with Dave about this last week, I believe. That space where the bathroom is, where the coffee maker is, that space is not, that should not have been used for students to begin with. That connects to the kitchen. That was for kitchen staff. And since we no longer use that kitchen, that door that connects to the kitchen is usually locked, but sometimes it is unlocked, which make no sense for that. Sometimes the door to get to the bathroom is also locked, which again, that should not happen. People need to use the bathroom. Overall, that space has a little wash thing for some reason, a sink that's not really a sink, and overall, a lot of things that do not really make sense. There is a room that's full of chairs with exposed pipes, and half of a wall is missing. There's a lot of things there that we need to definitely renovate.
Thank you for bringing that up. I think what we need to do is, I'll talk to Christine and see if we can get students involved in the conversation, like the planning of this building, and then we'll figure out who someone from this organization be part of that. But I think we should do that. Also, what I would encourage a lot of you to do is your primary concerns, and I hear a lot about the commuter lounge. So even Senator Amaya, if you could again also work on this. But for any of you, put together a list of what you think are the most important things for students and clubs, like in this building if they do any work. Because again, the people planning this might not know some of these things, so like putting that in their ear. But also, I'll try to demand or push to get students involved in these conversations, because I don't want really much done to this building unless students are consulted about it, because this is the campus center, this is the students' building. All right, so I think that's what we'll do for that. And then secondly, if anyone has any ideas on that game room, create some kind of proposal or an idea and maybe share it with us next week or submit it to the finance committee. Because at least that's something we could do in the immediate future. Because I think, again, that's something I think we partially fund or something, so we can switch that around. But all right, so we do have time for about 2 more questions. So I'll give to Secretary and then Senator Ponte. And begin the conversation.
I just wanted to clarify for everyone, there is going to be an esports lab. Like that is in the plan. Like as far as I've heard from everybody, it's coming in. It's going to be, the question of it is they're going to use it as a recruiting tool for those who are interested in professional esports gaming on a collegiate level. So it's going into the campus center. It's just a matter of where. And the question is whether or not they're going to allow general population students to have access to it, or if it will be only a varsity esports athlete space. That's the big question there, and that's going to be used as a recruiting tool to encourage more students, and that's actually like a really prominent like varsity athlete sport thing now. So yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that. I think what I might do is find someone, whoever's in charge of that, maybe come talk to us, because I don't really understand what esports is. In an e-board meeting, I thought it was like competitive Wii Sports.
No.
So, maybe we'll have to talk about it a bit more, but interesting.
Okay, this is a little off topic, but just in the topic of campus center, can we renovate this just to make it so that when say we do have a full Senate next year, there is not enough space in this room for a full Senate, so we could update the technology in this like room and just make it better and more space. Hi.
I don't know if maybe can I jump in?
In the meantime, a motion to add 2 more minutes to this discussion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? Motion passes. Yeah, of course.
So I would say, so those people is usually me. And I've got partners in crime, Mr. Cooper here as well. So keep in mind, so in the grand scheme of things, we're just coming into the home stretch on the master plan. The master plan includes, it's a plan for the entire campus, including this building. And just because it's in the plan doesn't mean it's stuff to still be talked about. But there's a lot of and then there's a lot of individual discussion going on about this building with regard to esports, commuter lounge. We're already looking at those things. So I would love to be included in the thoughts and ideas to make sure I can incorporate them in with the thought process early on. The earlier the better. And then, so, and as far as what happens up here, we're looking at this whole building, the kitchen space, everything is really being looked at. So that's still really early. Rivers is still really we're still in the trying to figure it out phase. Okay. We've got a lot to figure out for that space, number one. And number two, there's been no determinations about the perimeter spaces. And I can assure you, I know Christine isn't here, or certainly Dr. Johnson isn't here, but I know there's no way they'll take any space or just take it without, working with everybody. Everybody understands, making sure that things move around or what have you. Nothing would just be eliminated. Certainly not like a special space, like a prayer space or something like that. So we discuss these things all the time, and we know that there are commitments and needs by the different student groups and organizations. So, we have to figure it out, and it's not really the easiest thing to do, but we would certainly never just say, yeah, get rid of that, move this over here. We won't do it. So anyway, you won't let us do it.
All right, thank you.
You got it.
So like I said, so we'll do those couple of things. So one, again, putting together a list of priorities or something to hand off just so that people are notified, and then also for that the game space area. But we can come back to this conversation if there's time at the end, but I want to move on just so we can get to the rest of our agenda. All right, is there anything else for new and existing business? All right, move to visitors' comments. Are there any comments from our visitors? Yes.
So last week we talked about some of the mold stats, and you guys had mentioned using like stickers to notify. Just want to let you know we're working on door hangers for you guys. So this will let you know if they were there and when they were there, did they do the work or did they not? So they can check the box and just put this right on the door so that you guys are aware of if they came or if they didn't. And if they didn't do the work, we're working on the system for you guys to notify us and schedule a better time and things.
We love the sticker idea, but the print shop can't make stickers really, or they'll make the kind of stickers that you'll never be able to get off the door. So if we could do like a Post-it type, so they suggested this, and I think it'll do the same thing. And you'll certainly not be able to miss it because open your door, it's right there. So we really appreciate your help in coming up with ideas like this.
Yeah. Perfect. That's a great idea. Does anybody have any questions or comments about this?
Sorry, could I see that?
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, perfect. Because I think that really does, kind of fix that situation we're talking about, them knowing when they come to the room. Right. Thank you. All right. Anything else for visitors' comments? Yes.
Yeah, just have one comment. I believe Carrie and Laura has sent emails out to everyone about the dining style survey. I suggest please fill them out. This is where we collect data of, demographics, who's on campus, what are the food trends, what students want. And then we do share them with Student Senate in the past, Food Committee, and Dr. Johnson, so we can build for next year of what students want and everybody can be engaged with the new planning. So please fill it out. They close Friday.
Thank you. And in regard to the Food Committee, I've heard a couple of you let me know that you're interested. If you are interested, please let me know today by 3 o'clock, and then I'll send you over the names, and then people can get moving on that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else for visitors' comments? All right. Move to committee reports, starting with academic secretary.
All right, well, registration wraps up this week. It'll be today is the last official day, and then students can register just for a couple more weeks until it formally closes, and then they have to go through a different approval process to get into it. I'll be sending out a survey to the campus regarding this semester registration experience with the general student body. I do send that out, that you guys distribute it among your people. Ideally, I'll have some posters put up so those of you who are RAs can put them up around where you live. My regular meetings with the registrar and provost continue. If you have any questions or comments you want me to pass on to them, please do let me know. And generally, any other questions, please reach out.
Perfect. Thank you. Any questions in regard to this report? We'll probably have a more formalized registration discussion after the last group, which is the freshmen, to register. There'll probably be more comprehensive conversation, a debrief of how that process went. All right, move to finance committee.
There's nothing to report at this time.
Amazing. All right, move to legislative committee.
Yeah, so this week we are going to be working with the prospective board of the GSA. So we're going to be working to reactivate them as a club. So expect that on the agenda next week. Other than that, there's nothing else to do.
Perfect, thank you. So yes, very exciting news that the GSA is coming back. They were active in the past, level D organization, but due to some e-board members, people not being interested in working in the e-board, the club kind of fizzled out last semester, but they are coming back. And since it is, less than a year elapsing, they can come back to their level D status. So I'm super excited about that. All right, anything else for legislative committee? All right, thank you. Campus relations committee.
So our pavilion opening ceremony is tomorrow, so I hope people who can make it, it's 1 to 2, to come and celebrate with us. Still looking to find a time for the finance committee and campus relations committee to meet. We're all very busy people, so it's just taken a while to see, get some results in, and I believe that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Anything else for campus relations committee? All right, move to public relations committee.
Earlier I put in the group meeting, the Thanksgiving food drive, volunteer form. If any of you guys are available for even like a half hour, 15 minutes, just fill in the form and let me know for how long. It's going to be November 17th from 11 to 1. I'm planning, I believe there's a raffle basket that says doing, and then limited edition bear trading cards for every can a student donates for non-perishable item. And Clash of the Classes has been officially booked for next semester, being February 17th from 8 to 10 in the HLC. And more things to come out.
Perfect, thank you. Anything else for public relations committee? All right, moving to campus activities board. And our campus activities board chair is not here today because she is working with the therapy dogs today, which I highly recommend if, I don't know what time it goes, I think it's 2. Oh, but I went earlier today and it was really good at that. So, does anybody have anything for campus activities board? All right, thank you. Moving to representative reports, starting with the class of 2024.
So the only thing we have this week is that yearbook photos have been postponed and the new date is November 27th to December 8th for seniors.
Perfect. All right, thank you. Move to class of 2025.
Alrighty, so we're doing a lot of big things right now. We have our food drive coming up, which is part of our community service committee. They are doing it on the 14th and the 16th. It's going to be on the first floor of University Commons. If anyone wants to donate some non-perishable items, you will be donated in, or entered into a raffle, and they'll be there both days from or during Common Hour. And then they are also doing a cleanup of Gateway, Evergreen, and Southwood areas this weekend. And then in about 2 weeks is our Golden Hours program, and that'll be in CCA on the 17th.
Thank you. Anything else for class of 25? All right, move to class of 2026. And we do have a liaison from the class of 2026 council.
Okay, so this Friday we have our Golden Hours event. It is from 6 to 8 p.m. It is called Fall Festival. We will have pizza, apple cider, hot chocolate, apple cider donuts. Everyone's welcome to stop by. We'll have a lot of games, things like that. But other than that, we've just been working on our event, so.
Thank you. Anything else for class of 2026? Thank you. Move to class of 2027.
Just kind of like an update on the survey we were making. It's almost done with its revisions. The survey basically is like a way to ask freshmen how their experience has been so far, if there's any things like they think we should help them with. And then today, actually at 4 p.m., we'll be meeting with our council, getting to know everybody, and then we're also going to be discussing some plans for classes.
Okay, thank you. Anything else for class of 2027? All right, move to resident representative.
All right, so a couple updates. The filters changing in the quad is still happening. Again, I saw it in my hall today. Another update too is that we are doing this all the RAs are doing their safety health inspections. I actually have mine tomorrow. So so we also have that. And also I did not add this in my report because I saw this email today. They already started talking about registration for housing next year. The registration will open on February 1st, and the deadline for your deposit is March 15th. The actual housing selection itself will start April 15th. I think that's what the email said. But yeah, that was the email that everyone got this morning regarding about that.
All right, thank you. Anything else for resident representative? All right, move to commuter representative.
Not much to report. I met with Dave, as I said, and the Vice President of Commuter Council to discuss the possibility of converting one of the rooms in the back to an office space. We're gonna further discuss this. Upcoming, I have a meeting with the Commuter Council this Wednesday to continue discussing the office space. That is all.
Perfect, thank you. Anything else for commuter representative? All right, moving to senators' comments. A couple things that I want to say. So for spring event applications, we finished all the interviews, and I have sent out offer letters to 2 people. I do want to go with co-chairs this year, so the offer letters have been submitted, and the deadline is this evening. So once I get all acceptances, then I will send out a letter notifying you who those candidates are. And then next week, I'll have the candidates or the people selected come into Senate, and just I'll explain my decision and the people and Bridget who interviewed with me in these interviews, talk about the candidates and all of that. So I'll be happening next week. And then for an outing, so I'm still in the process of planning an outing for us all, tentatively Saturday, December 2nd. So put a hold on your schedule if you are available that day. I'm working with Sonny's Place to figure out something fun to do there. So more details to come. Just put a hold on your calendar. And then we will be having a holiday party every year we do. It used to be a Thanksgiving social, but now we pushed it a little bit later. And I'm working on getting a room booked, so then that date will be coming out. But that's always fun. One of my favorite things to do. All right, floor is open for senators' comments. And again, you can bring up an old conversation we're having earlier if you'd like to bring that back to discussion. Floor is open. Yes, Tracy. Yes. So last year was senator, and I got this wonderful new speaker. So yes, we will definitely we'll do that again. Thank you. And I'll send out again information on what we want for food and stuff like that, and any activities. So okay, all right, the floor remains open. Okay. Let's go. All right, with nothing on the floor, motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? Motion passed. Go see the therapy dog. Plenty of time. It should be there till 2.
Motion to adjourn, yes. Yep. Time to go. It's my more medicine.
Oh, I love it.
Makes me hurt.
You notice the road's better?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was
way
like,
better.
okay.
Good luck with that.
Very nervous. What's it on? A chapter that I had